Alex Makovica back with you on UNL's East Campus for the 2025 Husker High School Day, an opportunity for college students entering the teaching profession to kind of get some hands-on experience. Seth Wert is joining us. He is going to be a future ag educator. Walk us through this day, what you guys get to do, Seth.
Absolutely. So Husker High School Day is kind of a neat opportunity for us juniors within ag education. It's an opportunity for us to kind of firsthand experience what our school day is going to be like when we're student teaching or when we actually get a teaching job. It's kind of our first experience of like, okay, this is like an actual school day for us. So we're given 6 class periods that we teach. 4 class periods are different, and then 2 of the class periods, 5 and 6, are kind of continuations of class periods 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are animal systems and plant systems. So then the second day is kind of like, okay, this is what we learned day 1. Now we're going to learn, like, continue learning about this in day 2. So it's kind of a neat opportunity that we kind of get that aspect as well, because you're normally not used to like seeing the students the next day. We've had a lot of observation hours where we go to the school and we teach like 1 class period and then we get to leave. So you never really get to see like, okay, this is day 2 of what we're learning about. You just kind of do the 1 lesson and then you're out of there. So it is kind of nice just being able to have this experience, just to kind of put our toes in the water of what student teaching is going to look like. But yeah.
Seth, walk us through the curriculum that you put together for today.
Absolutely. So for class 1, it is plant systems. So today we're learning a little bit about germination and what that kind of looks like in plants and what different factors a plant needs to be able to grow and that kind of aspect. In class 2, they're learning about animal handling facilities. So I was able to meet with Temple Grandin, who is really big within animal handling facilities, a few weeks ago. So I'm kind of bringing her aspect into my lesson a little bit and playing some of the videos that she has for that, which I'm super excited about. Then class 3 is agribusiness. So I am teaching them a little about enterprise budgets and how they could use not necessarily like an enterprise budget in their daily life, but then kind of how they could use like a budget in some aspect in their daily life. I mean, not everybody is going to own their own business and need an enterprise budget, but most people do need some kind of budget in their daily life. So they're going to learn a little bit about that. And then class 4 is my intro to welding class. So it's a little bit different since we're in the East Campus Union. I can't have like welding machines and that kind of stuff. So I have like graham crackers and spray cheese. And so then they're just going to kind of like sort of like weld with the cheese and the crackers and kind of be able to kind of experience what welding's actually going to be like, or what it would be like if they were doing it. And then I have some different types of welds that they could perform and that kind of stuff. So, and then class 5 is the continuation of plant science. So it's more of like an experiment lab activity that I've planned for that. So they are going to do the farming in a glove activity, which is where they put like a wet cotton ball in each finger of a glove, and then they put 5 different seeds in each finger. And then over the course of a couple weeks, they could observe the seed as it grows. Kind of just to go off of, in the first class, we kind of talked about the stages of the seed growing. So then in class 5, they won't be able to see it in my class, but within the next few weeks, they'll be able to like physically see the steps that we kind of talked about in that aspect. And then class 6 is the animal handling facility class, day 2. So they're going to design their own animal handling facilities. I'm giving them a fun little scenario like, oh, they inherited Uncle Bob's farm and now they have to decide, do I want to keep his facilities and kind of reuse what he's doing, or do I want to start brand new and kind of do it the way I want to do it? So, yeah.
Very exciting. A jam-packed day for you guys, for sure. Well, Seth, you had mentioned that you will be student teaching at Norris, and then you have already accepted a full-time job. What are you most excited for? Where are you going?
So I will be student teaching at Norris in the fall semester, so that's super exciting. Not too far from Lincoln, so I can stay around here a little bit. And then I'm going to High Plains to start my teaching career in December of 2025. So that's a little bit scary, knowing that it's a little less than a year away, that I'll be teaching and in the classroom and that kind of stuff. I'm super excited just to be able to get my own space. We've been going into the classrooms a lot and kind of using other teachers' rooms, but I'm kind of excited just to be able to go and make it my own, not having to use the other person's computer, the other person's projector, like that kind of stuff. I could kind of go in and make it the way I want it. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. But yeah, the idea that it's already signed and it's a done deal. It's kind of scary. It's kind of exciting knowing that like I don't have to worry about it anymore. I think there's at least 3 or 4 of us from my class that already have jobs lined up right away, which I think is completely crazy. The fact that we're still a year in college, like we still have a year in college yet, and we're already signing those contracts. We already have what we're going to do. Also kind of crazy that schools are able to that are holding the position for us. Lucky for me, it's a 2-teacher program that I'm going into, so they're going to step down to a 1-teacher, and then when I get there, they'll just move back to a 2-teacher. But another girl, her school is just doing a long-term sub, so knowing I know that you're so valued that I will hire a long-term sub, and then when you're ready, come to my school. So
yeah, you mentioned it's a very high demand job, so that's fascinating. Why ag ed, Seth? What sparked you to do that?
For me, growing up, I grew up in a small town, so I grew up in Hordville, Nebraska, which is 100 people in the town. So my uncles and a lot of my family grew up on farms around Hordville. So I'm pretty sure I grew up more on the farm than I did in town. But I always knew that I wanted to do something within agriculture. I just didn't know exactly how I wanted to bring that into my daily life. If you would have asked elementary me, I wanted to be a vet. Soon realized that was a little more schooling than I wanted to do and a little bit harder to get to. So I was kind of struggling on what I actually wanted to do with agriculture. It was then when I was in high school when I was introduced to FFA and to ag ed. And just having those influential teachers in my life, I kind of looked at not only my ag ed teachers, but I was like, okay, teachers are the people who are creating the next generations of people. And that was super cool to me. To be able to witness. Not very many students go up to their teachers and say how appreciated they are, which I think is interesting just because students look up to their teachers so much, but it's not always heard. So I always kind of had thought, maybe I want to be a teacher. So if you combine my passion for ag and impacting people, I came across ag ed.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's round out the conversation with this. Husker High School Day is ongoing. I'm interrupting you actually from a lesson right now, but what do you hope to take away from this experience, Seth?
Honestly, I'm just hoping to take away, what are some of my weaknesses? We have administrators in there to kind of watch us, to kind of simulate we're going to have our administrators one day in the classroom come observe us every once in a while. And obviously, I'm not going to be a pro today, and I'm okay with that. It's a learning opportunity. I was super nervous at first, but I've kind of just come to the fact that, we're all here to grow, and my first few years of teaching aren't going to be perfect. I'm going to have struggles here and there, but using those teachers that are in the community around me, they're always there to help. So that's the big thing about today too, is listening to them, take their advice, kind of listen to them. They have many years of experience. So kind of just using what they've gone through to kind of help me further better myself.
All right, Seth Wert is joining us on UNL's East Campus for Husker High School Day. I'm Alex Makovica on the Rural Radio Network.